Good morning, students. In last class, I have studied the classification of a kingdom Animalia, where here the kingdom Animalia is classified into majorly two branches. One is called as the parazoas, and second one is the meta or eumetazoans. Here parazoa, it is having only one phylum. I means here it is shows a cellular grade of an organization is taken place. So in this cellular grade here in parazoans will consist of only one phylum, that is a poriferans, and in eumetazoans there shows a tissue grade, organ as well as organ system grade of an organization is taken place, where here it is divided into two types based on the symmetry, that is radial and a bilateral symmetry. Here radial symmetry, based on the radial symmetry, these are classified into two types. One is coelenterids and actinophores. And bilateria, based on the bilateria means bilateral symmetry. So here bilateral symmetry is classified into based on the body cavity. Here a body cavity, here these are classified into three types: acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, as well as an eucoelomates, or otherwise you can call them as coelomates also. Here acoelomates having only one phylum, that is called as Platyhelminthes, and pseudocoelomates will having only one phylum, that is an Aschelminthes. From eucoelomates will having from Annelida to the chordates, including humans. So these will having a eucoelom, that means true body cavity is presenting in between the body wall and an alimentary canal. So here it shows from annelidans to the chordates, including humans, will shows that the eucoelomates are coelomates. This is the classification where we have studied in the last class. Next, first coming to the next one, that is shows that the first branch, that is parazoans. Here a parazoa. So here para means beside. Para means beside. Zoans means animals. So these are the animals where there shows that the beside the animals, these we can call them as beside organisms, or beside the animals, where here these are having only one phylum is presenting, that is based on this here a tissues formation is not be taken place. So here aggregation of cells are taken place, that cells functions which are taken place. Here the cells are not, that means the individual cells which are presenting that are not grouped into tissues. So here will shows only a cellular grade of an organization is taken place. So in these parazoans will having the phylum is the phylum, it consists of the phylum poriferans. Here will having only one phylum, that is poriferans or porifera, or porifera. So here we will discuss in this branch, that is the first branch, we will discuss that parazoans will having only one phylum, that is poriferans. So what are the poriferans? Pori means porous. Pori means porous. Ferens means bearing. Ferens means bearing. So these are the organisms. These are the organism will having a four bearing organism. That means here why they are called as poriferans means entire body of an organism will having a pore-like structures are presenting. That means entire body will having a pores are presenting. The entire body consists of entire body consists of pores. Pores. So it is justified. So it is justified the name. So it justified the name, the poriferans. So here we'll having the entire body will consist of the pores are presenting. That means small pore-like structures are presenting. So due to the presence of pores, entire body will having the pores are presenting. So due to the presence of this entire body will having pores are presenting. So due to this will having so here entire body will having pores are presenting. So due to the presence of the pore-like structures, these are called as pores. So entire body will consisting of pore-like structures are presenting. So these type of organisms or animals, we can justify them as the pore-bearing organisms, or otherwise we can call them as the poriferans. So here all are marine forms, these all are aquatic, all are the aquatic. Aquatic means these are mainly present in water only, and most of them, aquatic means water, most of the majority of them are, most of them are marine forms. Marine forms like if you see in the cycon and Leucosolanae. So here due to most of them are marine forms like cycons and Leucosolanae, and a few are the freshwater forms. A few are the freshwater forms like Spongilla. So here majority of them are showing marine forms. That means most of the poriferans are presenting in the marine forms, that is in salt waters these are presenting, and very few of them are freshwater forms like Spongillas. And also here adult one showing adults, all adults are sessile, all adults are sessile, all adults are sessile, and larval forms and larval forms shows free swimming. So here it's showing the larval form, that means sessile, that means adult forms. Adult means young ones are sessile. Sessile means they are fixed at one position, or otherwise we can call them as sedentary organisms. Sedentary means they are fixing to the one position. So such type we can call them as sessile forms. And here larval forms will show a free swimming organisms. Will shows that a free swimming, that means they are easily floating on the surface of the water. Then we can show that here larval forms are a free swimming, that is floating on the surface of the water. But the larval form, that is adult forms, will show this sessile, that means they are fixed at one position to the substratum or organism or any other part they are attaching to the and fixed at one position. So that here we can call them as the sessile forms. Next, coming to the grade of cellular grade of organization. Next, coming to the grade of organization. Grade of organization. So here will shows the cellular in the sponges are the a primitive. These are a primitive, a multicellular organisms. A primitive, a multicellular organisms, and also shows the cellular grade of organization. Will shows the cellular grade of an organization is taken place where these are the primitive multicellular. That means these are the first formed multicellular organisms, and here shows the cellular grade of organization. That means here the cells are presenting. The cells are combined together and performs specific functions are taken place by the cells only. So here tissues are not at forms. So here tissues are not at forms. Tissues are not at forms. So here it shows a cellular grade. That means all cells are combined together and performs specific functions are performed by the cells only. So this type of grade of organization we can call as the cellular grade of an organization that we seen in poriferans. Next, coming to the symmetry. Here will shows the symmetry. Here, which type of symmetry? Most of the sponges will shows that the most of the sponges are shows an asymmetrical. Will shows an asymmetrical, and few will and some will shows a radial asymmetry. Will shows the radial asymmetry. That means here most of the sponges which are presenting, they shows that only most of the sponges will shows that the asymmetry. Asymmetry means when you cut the organism in any vertical plane, we cannot able to producing two identical hulls or not be produces. That means when you cut the organism either in any plane or in one vertical plane or any plane, we cannot produce an identical hulls or not be produces. Then we can call that as the radial, that is asymmetry. So next, and some will shows only a radial asymmetry. Here some will shows that the radial symmetry. That means when you cut the organism along the plane, here in any vertical plane along the vertical, that is from along the central axis. If we cut the organism in any plane, here we are able to producing two identical the hulls are produces. Then such type of symmetry we can call as the radial asymmetry. So here in poriferans will shows that two type of symmetry. One is asymmetrical and second one is a radial asymmetry. So here these are the two type of asymmetry where here we cannot able to get identical hulls in any plane. Then we can call that as an asymmetry. When you cut the organism in any vertical plane or any plane along the central axis, if we cut here, what happens? Here two identical hulls are produces. Then such type of symmetry we can call them as the radial asymmetry. Next, coming to the body wall. So here a body wall. Here it shows these are diploblastic. Here it shows that these are diploblastic. It is made up of two cell layers or two germ layers. It is made up of two layers, and two layers. The outer layer outer layer is called as outer dermal layer, outer dermal layer, or otherwise we can call that as a pinocyte, pinoderm, and inner gastric layer, or otherwise it is called as cohenoderm. So here outer layer is called as outer dermal layer, and inner layer is called as inner gastric layer, or we can call them as a cohenoderm. In between these will consist of a non-gelatinous mesenchymal region is presenting. That means in between these layers, in between these two layers, consist of a non-gelatinous layer called as non-mesenchymal region, or mesenchymal region will consist of and in between these two layers, that is two layers means outer dermal layer and inner gastric layer will consist. That means outer dermal layer is called as a pinoderm, and inner cohenoderm. In between these two layers will having a non-gelatinous, that is non-gelatinous layer is presenting, that is called as the mesenchyme, where it consists of wandering and amoebocytes. It consists of mesenchyme consists of a wandering, it consisting of a wandering amoebocytes. It consists of, that means inner mesenchymal region, that is non-gelatinous layer, that is called as mesenchymal region. In this mesenchymal region will consist of a wandering and amoebocytes are presenting. So here we will having the wandering and amoebocytes are presenting, and also inner gastric layer will consist of a cavity, that is inner gastric layer enclosing a cavity called as the spongiocele, and which is exterior open by the osculum. So here this region, that means inner gastric layer, the gastric layer which is presenting, it is enclosed a cavity. This is we can taken place as a cavity. So here inner layer will having a cavity is presenting, that cavity we can call as the spongiocele. This cavity we can call as the spongiocele. It can call as the spongiocele, and exteriorly, that means it is exteriorly opened by a structure called as an osculum. It is an exteriorly opened by an opening. That opening is called as an osculum. What is osculum means? The exterior opening of the inner gastric layer, that is we can call that as the spongiocele. That means inner gastric layer will consist of will enclosed a cavity. That is inner gastric layer consisting of enclosing a cavity. That cavity which is present in inner gastric layer we can call as a spongiocele. Cele means a cavity. Spongio means in sporosporans will having a cavity is enclosing a cavity. That cavity we can call as the spongiocele, and exteriorly it is opening by an opening. This is called as opening, where this opening we can call them as an osculum. So this is where we can see in a body wall, where it is made up of two layers. Outer layer is called as outer dermal layer or pinacoderm, an inner layer we can call as a gastric layer, or we can call as cohinoderm. In between outer and inner will having a non-gelatinous substance are presenting. The non-gelatinous substance is called as mesenchyme, where this mesenchymal region will consist of and wandering and amoebocytes are presenting, and also in these wandering amoebocytes which are present in mesenchyme and inner gastric layer will having a cavity is presenting. That cavity we can call as a spongiocele, where it is exteriorly opened by an opening called as an osculum. So this is where we can call them as the body evolved. And next we can go for osteas. Next one, the ostia. So here what are ostia means? The entire body of an organism, that is entire body of an sporans will having a minute openings are presenting. That minute openings which are presenting are minute pores which are present. A large number of minute spores are presenting. These we can call them as the osteas. So in the sponges, in the body of sponges, in the body of a sponge will consist of a minute pores called as numerous or minute and numerous pores, minute numerous spores called as the an ostia. So here will contain what is ostia means the entire body. Here if you see in the entire, this is the body will having a minute spores are presenting. These minute spores which are presenting we can call them we can call them as the osteas. So what are ostia means? Here a pores, a minute spores and minute numerous spores which are present in the body of an sponges, then it is called as the an osteas. So here we'll having a numerous osteas are presenting. We'll having a numerous an ostia, that means numerous pores means a minute pores, many number of spores are presenting. So such type of them are called as an osteas. Next, coming to the skeleton. So here will shows in sponges will shows an internal skeleton. The sponges shows an internal skeleton in the form of needle-like structures and needle-like structures called spicules. We can call them as inner like structures which we can call them as spicules. We can call them as spicules. We can call them as the spicules. That means inner structure will consist of, that means sponges will show an internal skeleton. Here when it shows an internal skeleton will having a needle-like structures are presenting. So that needle-like structures which we can call them as the spicules. The spicules may be in the form of the spicules. The spicules may be in the form of calcareous or silicaceous or this is in the form of fibrous proteins, fibrous protein, fibrous sponges, fibrous spicules in the form of the spongillas. So this spongilla will consist of a protein called as spongillin. The spongilla consists of a protein. That protein is called as the spongilla. That means here we are having the fibrous spicules are presenting. That fibrous spicules which is consisting, they are having in the form of spongiae. So here we are having the fibrous protein. That protein we can call them as spongiae. That means here the spongilla will consist of a protein. That protein is called as spongiae, or otherwise the spicules which are formed. That means a needle-like structures which are presenting in the internal structures, they are called as spicules. These spicules are in the form of calcareous or silicaceous. That means calcareous means here the spicules are made up of calcium carbonate. If they are made up of calcium, then we can call them as the calcareous, or otherwise if it is made up of a silicon, that means the needle-like structures are made up of, that means spicules are made up of with a silicon, so they are called as a silicaceous. And otherwise you will having a fibrous proteins are presenting. The fibrous protein we can call as the spongilla. This spongilla is made up of a protein called as spongiase. So here the internal skeleton is in the form of the needle-like structures called as the spicules. The spicules may be either calcareous, silicaceous or proteinaceous spicules in the form of spongilla, or in the form of protein called as the spongiase. Next, if we coming to the next one, that is the cohenoderm, or we can call them as the cohenoderm, or inner gastric, or inner the collar cells, or otherwise we can call them as the inner the collar cells. So here coming to this, so next here cohenocytes, that is cohenocytes. So here inner gastric layer, or we can call that as coheno means funnel, and sides means cells. So these are the funnel shaped cells, or these are the, that means inner gastric layer, inner gastral layer consists of specialized cells, consist of the specialized the cells, call them as cells called as the collar cells. Collar cells are cohenocytes. They are called as the collar cells are the cohenocytes. So what are these collar cells or cohenocytes means? These are a funnel shaped cells which are presenting in the gastral layer, will having a specialized cells are presenting. That specialized cells which are presenting, we can call them as the collar cells. So here collar cells is the one of the an important, it is a presence of a collar cells is one of the an important the characteristic feature of the sponges or the aporiferans. So here by the beating action of the flagella, that means the beating action of flagella of these the collar cells here, it helpful for the constant yellowing of water into the body. So by the beating action of flagella of the flagellum, the flagella of collar cells. Collar cells, it allows it entry of the it allows the constant, it allows the constant of water, allows the constant of water into the body of sponges or poriferans. That means by the beating action of these collar cells, that means by the beating action of flagella of the collar cells, what happens here, it allows the water into the body. That means constantly the allowing of water into the body. So that is the main important. So here the presence of the collar bodies, that is the collar cells, the presence of the collar cells. The presence of the collar cells here, this presence of the collar cells is the one of the an important a characteristic feature of an sporiferans or the sponges. But means presence of the collar bodies or collar cells or cohenocytes, where they are presenting means in the gastric layer. Due to in the presence of gastric layer, specialized cells are presenting. They are called as collar cells or cohenocytes. These are helpful for constant beating of flagellum of the collar cells. It allows the water into the body, constantly allows of water into the body. So it is one of the presence of the collar, that means the presence of collar bodies or collar cells, presence of collar cells or cohenocytes, it is one of the an important characteristic feature present in the poriferans. Next, coming to the canal system. So here the canal system, it is also one of the unique feature of the sponges. So what is this canal system means? Here the constant allow of water into the body. Here constant due to allowing of water into the body by collar cells. Here the exchanging of materials. The exchanging of materials from body, in and out movement of exchanging of materials from the body to the environment, from environment to body. Here it helpful for the exchanging of the materials are taken place. So this that means the flowing of water body, that means the allowing of or the so what you call that means here the allowing of water into the canal system. That means here continuously the allow of sea water is circulating inside the body of an organism, which helpful for the exchanging of waters between the body and environment to the body. This type of system is called as a canal system, where it is also the canal, the presence of a canal system is also an unique feature of the poriferans. What are that now we will discuss. Next, a canal system. It is the an unique feature unique feature of it is an unique feature of the unique feature of a poriferans, where here in this canal system, in this canal system continuous flow of sea water into the into the body of sponges. Body of sponges. It helpful for exchanging of materials, exchanging of materials from body to an outer environment. That means here exchanging of gases is taken place from the body, that is the body of the sponges to the environment to the body. Here the exchanging of materials are taken place, so that here a continuously flow of the seawater in the body of sponges. So this system we can call as a canal system, where it is an important character also. That means it is unique feature. That means it having a very, that means in all the sponges or in all the poriferans, this system is compulsory is present. It is one of the an important character feature. Not only the canal system and the coonocytes also, presence of the collar cells. These two are the very important the characteristic features which are present in the poriferans or the sponges. Next, a digestive system. If you see here, digestive system. A digestive system. Here digestive system is absenting. Here digestive system. Digestive system is absent, but here the digestion is an intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. That digestion is intracellular. Intracellular means inside the cell. If the digestion is taken place, inside the cell, then we can call that as an intracellular digestion. That means here what is intracellular digestion means? Digestion is taken place inside the cell. So it is called as an intracellular. And in this intracellular digestion, in the mesenchymal, in mesogly or mesenchyme will consist of, in mesogly consist of the wandering amoebocytes. So here these, with the help of these amoebocytes, that means due to the, in mesogly they consist of wandering amoebocytes. Due to the wandering of amoebocytes, here it helpful for the collection of the amoebocytes. The wandering amoebocytes helpful for the collection of food materials. Wandering amoebocytes helps in collection of food materials. So due to the presence of the wandering amoebocytes, here the collection of food materials are taken place, that is present in a mesogly or mesenchyme. That means in between gastric layer as well as the outer dermal layer will having a gelatinous, non-gelatinous substances presenting. So in this non-gelatinous substance will consist of amoebocytes. These amoebocytes are helpful for the collection of the food materials. So here digestion is taken place. Digestive system is not be presenting, but here digestion is taken place by an intracellular. That means ingestion of food material is taken place inside the cell only. So if the inside the cell it is taken place, we can call them as intracellular digestion. Or otherwise, if we take outside the cell, we can call them as an extracellular digestion. What are that? We will discuss detailedly in future classes. So here, and respiratory and also circulatory system is not be developed. The circulatory system is not yet developed. And also, if you see in here respiratory, the respiratory and excretion, as respiratory system and an excretion. Here the excretion and excreta, that means respiratory system, and these are not wet developing, but it is taken place through the general body surfaces. There is no specialized organs for respiration and excretion but takes place through a general body surface, That means here it takes place through the respiratory system and excretory system is not be developed, but how it is taken place means through the general body surface, the exchanging of material, that is respiration, oxygen and carbon dioxide, and also the elimination of waste materials, that is taken place by an excretory, that is through the general body surface. Through the body surface only the elimination of waste materials are taken place, and also here the excretion is mainly in the form of the ammonia it is presenting. The excretory is mainly in the form of the ammonia. So here these are aminotelic and organisms. So this is where that is called as the excretion and the respiratory as well as the respiration. Next, coming to the last one, that is reproduction. Coming to the reproduction. Here reproduction means here in a preference. It takes place both asexual and the sexual reproduction. It takes place both an asexual as well as the sexual reproduction will be taken place in the sponges. Here the asexual reproduction will be taken place by the formation of buds, or we can call this as a budding. Formation of buds, or we can call this as the budding. And also, and here the formation of buds either an external or an internal. Externally we can call them as buds, and internal buds we can call them as gemmules. So what are gemmules means? The internal buds which are present in the sponges. What are gemmules means? The internal buds which are present in the sponges. So it is a type of an asexual reproduction which is taken place. The external it is in the form of external buds, and internal buds where it takes place in the form of gemmules. So what are gemmules means? These are the asexual reproduction which are internal buds of the sponges or a poriferans. We can call that as call them as gemmules. And here the sexual reproduction, here fusion of gametes are taken place. The sexual reproduction, the fusion here the fusion of the gametes are taken place. So with the help of gametes here it takes place, the asexual reproduction is taken place, and also here the development is indirect. Indirect means here it consists of a larval forms, forms such as the amphiblastula and parenchymal, and the parenchymal, amphiblastula and parenchymal, the larval forms, forms. So here indirect means through having several larval stages are presenting. So here it shows that two larval stages, one is amphiblastula and second one is the parenchymal. Here it shows that where here the two larval stages where it takes place in the sponges or poriferans. And also in another important character is regeneration. Here regeneration. So here what is regeneration means? Here the regaining of body parts. That means regaining of the body parts, the regaining of lost body parts. That means here in poriferans it shows a great, here a regeneration is a very great of a regeneration is taken place. Regeneration means if any body parts is lost, that body parts will be regained. That means it produces that body parts will again, that body part will be replaced. So such type of process we can call as a regeneration. Here in these it shows a high degree of regeneration is taken place in the poriferans. And also in another phylum, that is in Echinodermata. When going into studying the Echinodermata, we will discuss there. Here regeneration, that means body parts are replaced. What are the body part is replaced, that is lost, that means gone away. That body part again will be replaced by this poriferans. So it is having a high degree of regeneration is taken place in the poriferans or in the sponges. So these are the characteristic features where they are taken place in the phylum poriferans. Now coming to the last one, that is a classification of poriferans. Here the classification, it is classified into three types. One is here the phylum Porifera is classified into three classes. One is called as Calcarea, second one is Hexaactinida, and the third one is Desmosponges. So these are the three classes where it is divided into the three. That means poriferans are classified into three classes. One is Calcarea, Hexaactinida, and the third one is Desmospongia. What are that? Now we will be discussed that one. So now coming to the classification of phylum Porifera. So here phylum Porifera is classified based on the presence of the spicules or an internal, that is a skeleton, based on the presence of the skeleton. based on the presence of the skeleton. Here are spicules. Here these the phylum Porifera is classified into three types. One is the Calcarea, an Hexaactinida, and a Demospongia. So here Calcarea, that means here the skeleton is made up of a calcium carbonate. Here the skeleton is made of calcium carbonate. So here it is made up of calcium carbonate, so you can call as Calcarea. An example we can take in place Leucosonalia as well as Scypha, and the Sycon are an example for the phylum Poriferans. Next, Hexaactinida. Here the skeleton, hexa means 6, actinida means rays. Will having a 6 rays of the skeleton is presenting. So here the skeleton is made up of the skeleton is made of silicon. So you can call them as Hexaactinida. So here there are two examples. One is Hyloneuma as well as Eupecta. Hyloneuma is called as grassrope spongiae, and Eupecta is called as Venus flower plant, Venus flower plant, or Venus flower. We can call this as Eupectilla. And a Demospongiae, it is made up of either a silicon. It is the skeleton is made up of a silicon or the spongin fibers. It is made up of either a silicon or spongin fiber. That means skeleton is made up of either silicon or spongin fibers, or sometimes here the skeleton is absent. The skeleton is an absent. So such type are called them as Demospongiae. So here I will having these are the fresh, these are presenting, that is the Demospongiae are present in both fresh water as well as the marine water. So here freshwater forms are Spongilla and Euspongius, these are presenting. And here the Calcarea and Hexaactinida, these are both are the marine forms only. That means exclusively they are present in sea water or in salt water or in oceans only. These organisms are presenting. So here the Calcarea and Hexaactinides are these two classes are presenting in the marine forms. But Demospongiae is both, it may be both a freshwater as well as the marine waters, these are presenting. But here based on the presence of the skeleton only, or the skeleton are spicules, made up of spicules, that is skeleton. These are classified into three types. One is the Calcarea, if the skeleton is made up of the calcium carbonate, and Hexaactinida, if the skeleton is made up of that is the silicon, and Demospongiae, if the having the skeleton is made up of either silicon or the spongin fibers. So these are the three classes where that is presenting in a phylum Porifera based on the presence of their skeleton. One is Calcarea, example is Leucosonalia, Scypha and Sycon, and Hexaactinida, an example, and is Hyloneuma and Eupectilla. And the third one is a Demospongiae, where here the skeleton is made up of either silicon or spongin fibers. Examples are the Spongilla and Euspongius. So this is the phylum, that is a phylum Porifera, where they are grouped, branched in only one phylum, that is Parazoans. This in the Parazoans will having only a one phylum. That phylum is a phylum Poriferans. So in next class we will discuss the phylum Coelenterades. So this is the characteristics. These are the characteristic features. Here will having, that means in all phylums will having a basic the concept, the basic general characters are presenting. What is that means? The body wall, a coelom, or otherwise a cemetery, are a grade of organization. So these four will having the four common features. These will having these four characters. One is the level of organization, and second one is the body wall, either diploblastic or triploblastic. Here the level of organization means the cellular grade, a tissue grade, organ or organ system grade, as well as body wall. Here there are two type of body wall. One is the triploblastic and diploblastic and triploblastic. And symmetry, here either radial symmetry or a bilateral symmetry, or both will having a biradial symmetry. And last one is a body cavity or a coelom. So here these are the four general characters. That means in all phylums these will having the four general characters. These will be compulsory, will having the characters. Later the remaining 4 or 5 characters are differently will having different characters. More the characters are having the different organism will having a different characters. But these 4 will having a commonly these will be presenting. So the basics, the general characters which we have studied in the earlier classes, compulsory you have to by heart them. When you by heart them, or if you know that characters, we can easily understand. Otherwise, you cannot able to understand. So what is a body wall, you have to know what is symmetry and how types of symmetries, and what is a cavity, body cavity or coelom, and how many types are a level of organization, and how many types that characters which you have discussed, and reproduction. Here all the characters which you have discussed earlier, that is general characters, you have to by heart them. Otherwise you cannot able to understand. That means here these general characters will be more, 4 characters will be compulsory. That 4 characters will be presenting in all the phylums. So compulsory you have to by heart them. So that along with this you have to write running notes also. So in the next class we will discuss that is the phylum Coelentrates. Thank you.